to you. This Fox News alert, President Trump just tweeting that Mick Mulvaney, who is his OMB director and the head of the CFPB, will serve as his acting chief of staff. So not a permanent chief of staff, but Mick Mulvaney, who I think many of you might know of. He was a congressman from South Carolina. Juan, your thoughts about Mick Mulvaney taking over, just to see them through?
Well, I mean, the big news before this, Dana, was that Chris Christie, the former governor of New Jersey, said he was taking himself out. And we've seen a series of people say, no, I'm not going to do it. It's a difficult job, and it looks like the coming 2 years are going to be turbulent. I think a lot of people moved away. So Mick Mulvaney is really taking one on for the team.
Yeah, now he has 3 jobs, Jesse.
Yeah, I mean, I would not, being Trump's chief of staff, my mother recommended I not do that. So now, like Christie, I will be taking myself out of consideration for that.
Good job,
role.
Jesse.
Like I said before, I think it's all about personal chemistry with the president. And it looks like
they have a good relationship.
Has a nice relationship, and he could steer the course in the next, I don't know how long it's going to take to get a permanent one, maybe 2 weeks, a month. But I don't think that a lot of the people's names that were being bandied about, like Chris Christie and David Bossie, were actually in serious consideration.
And now the president gets to go into the weekend with a little bit of news that that story, we're going to take it off the page for the front.
Yeah, I guess I'm not interested in staffing changes as much as I guess I'm supposed to be. I just see people go in and go out.
It's a little bit of a Washington parlor game.
Exactly. I really don't get. And I'm watching not people I won't mention, Santorum, claiming that they were up and then they're not up. It's just like
floating their names.
Floating their names. I mean, come on. Come on.
Emily?
Just to point out for viewers that the limit on acting on the role of an acting position, there's limits to that. But when the fact that the president appointed him or nominated him or whatever, that.
But in the chief of staff role, you could be acting for a long time.
Exactly, and so that's it. It makes it indefinite. So it could be like you said, be a week and a month. It could be clearly, or it could be longer than that.
Is that him after he found out he was chief of staff?
That's a live shot, actually.
But he had said
he's impersonating Pence.
Mick Mulvaney had said that he was not interested in that position, that he likes the jobs that he has, or would even consider a cabinet position. But the chief of staff role is a good. I think he'd make a good chief of staff, and maybe he'll get in there and decide that it's pretty good. You're the gatekeeper for the president.
The most interesting possibility had been Jared Kushner, that if he had brought in Jared, because remember, what happened was that the previous chief of staff was said to be on the outs with Jared and Ivanka. But now, I don't know what Mulvaney's relationship is.
Well, he's a very smart guy, and I think he's well-liked.
And also, they're headed into budget season, so it's a good time to have the president's here. Okay.